that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. All that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks. Thank you all so much for joining me and studying Lesson 126 in A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students. We're reading from the original edition here on Saturday, May the 6th of 2023. All that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. All that I give is given to myself. Today's idea, completely alien to the ego and the thinking of the world, is crucial to the thought reversal which the Course will bring about. If you believed this statement, there would be no problem in complete forgiveness, certainty of goal, and sure direction. You would understand the means by which salvation comes to you and would not hesitate to use it now. Let us consider what you do believe in place of this idea. It seems to you that other people are apart from you and able to behave in ways which have no bearing on your thoughts, nor theirs on yourself. Therefore, your attitudes have no effect on them, and their appeals for help are not in any way related to your own. You further think that they can sin without affecting your perception of yourself, while you can judge their sin and yet remain apart from condemnation and at peace. When you forgive a sin, there is no gain to you directly. You give charity to one. This is the way that the world thinks, and this is what we're trying to get thought reversal from. When you forgive a sin, there is no gain to you directly. You give charity to one unworthy merely to point out that you are better, on a higher plane than he whom you forgive. He has not earned your charitable tolerance, which you bestow on one unworthy of the gift, because his sins have lowered him beneath a true equality with you. He has no claim on your forgiveness. It holds out a gift to him, but hardly to yourself. Thus is forgiveness basically unsound, a charitable whim, benevolent yet undeserved, a gift bestowed at times, at other times withheld, unmerited. Withholding it is just, nor is it fair that you should suffer when it is withheld. The sin which you forgive is not your own. Someone apart from you committed it. And if you then are gracious unto him by giving him what he does not deserve, the gift is no more yours than was his sin. Oh my. If that's it, that is the way we have been trained to think in this world. If this be true, forgiveness has no grounds on which to rest dependably and sure. If this be true, all these things he just talked about, if this be true, forgiveness has no grounds on which to rest dependably and sure. And it is an eccentricity in which you sometimes choose to give indulgently an undeserved reprieve. Yet it remains your right to let the sinner not escape the justified repayment for his sin. Think you the Lord of heaven would allow the world's salvation to depend on this? Would not his care for you be small indeed if your salvation rested on a whim? You do not understand forgiveness. As you see it, it is but a check upon overt attack, without requiring correction in your mind. It cannot give you peace as you perceive it. It is not a means for your release from what you see in someone other than yourself. It has no power to restore your unity with Him to your awareness. It is not what God intended it to be for you. 7. Not having given Him the gift He asks of you, you cannot recognize His gifts and think He has not given them to you. Yet would He ask you for a gift unless it was for you? Okay, let's look at that again. I'm going to put the word God in the place where He says Him and He, because that's what it's referring to. I think it'll make it more easier to understand. Not having given God the gift God asks of you, you cannot recognize God's gifts and think God has not given them to you. Yet would God or He ask you for a gift unless it was for you? Could He be satisfied with empty gestures and evaluate such petty gifts as worthy of His Son? Salvation is a better gift than this, and true forgiveness as the means by which it is attained must heal the mind that gives, for giving is receiving. What remains as unreceived has not been given, but what has been given must have been received. All that I give is given to myself. Today we try to understand the truth that giver and receiver are the same. You will need help to make this meaningful because it is so alien to the thoughts to which you are accustomed. But the help you need is there, and that's a capital H, the Holy Spirit. The help you need is there. Give God, give the Holy Spirit your faith today, and ask Him that He share your practicing in truth today. And if you only catch a tiny glimpse of the release which lies in the idea we practice for today, this is a day of glory for the world. Give 15 minutes twice today to the attempt to understand today's idea. It is the thought by which forgiveness takes its proper place in your priorities. It is the thought that will release your mind from every bar to what forgiveness means and let you realize its worth to you. In silence, close your eyes upon the world which does not understand forgiveness, and seek sanctuary in the quiet place where thoughts are changed and false beliefs laid by. The quiet place where thoughts are changed and false beliefs laid by. Repeat today's idea and ask for help in understanding what it really means. Be willing to be taught. Ask for help. Be willing to be taught. Be glad to hear the voice of truth and healing speak to you, and you will understand the words He speaks and recognize He speaks your words to you. As often as you can, remind yourself you have a goal today, an aim which makes this day of special value to yourself and all your brothers. Do not let your mind forget this goal for long, but tell yourself, all that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. Thus spend a quiet moment opening your mind to His correction and His love. And what you hear of Him you will believe, for what He gives will be received by you. Wow. All that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust the Holy Spirit to make it more clear, something that gives me a new foundation, the thought reversal that He's trying to get us to be part of, realizing that we're all in this together. What we give is what we're receiving, and that forgiveness is not necessarily given to someone. It's done in your own mind. You forgive your judgment of your brother. Forgiveness recognizes what you thought your brother did to you has not occurred. We live in a world where there's no past and no condemnation in the present. That's being born again. Remember? Okay. All that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. Be sure to tell yourself that and spend 15 minutes. I like to do mine first thing when I get up in the morning. And, the last hour is what he told us earlier before we go to bed. We go to sleep. And then also, throughout the day, he's told us every 15 minutes. Sometimes he told us every 30 minutes. Other times he tells us every hour. This time he doesn't tell us, but I would think he wants us at least once an hour, and more if possible is what he's alluding to. Tell yourself, all that I give is given to myself. The help that I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. Okay, well, let's go take a look in our text reading. We're ready to finish chapter 13, From Perception to Knowledge, the last section, section 9, the way of salvation. And while you're turning there, let me tell you about this lamb's quarter that's kind of wilting. I just dug it up. They grow on disturbed soil, so they come up in your garden automatically. They don't usually have that wilt look. But the reason I wanted to show you about lamb's quarter today. Let's see, I've got a little bit more down here. It's highly nutrient rich. Use it in places of spinach. The whole above ground part's edible. The stems, when they're young, are pretty good. As they get older, they get a little tough. The young leaves are great. That right there is nice to eat raw or cooked. And let me tell you, it's called Chenopodium album, which is closely related to quinoa, which is also a Chenopodium quinoa. So it's also named, it's lamb's quarter, goosefoot, or pigweed. And I found some stuff on the permacultureproject.com and from Plants for a Future. And it says the leaves, eaten raw or cooked, like spinach. Also, they have high oxalic acid like spinach, so you don't want to overdo it on spinach or lamb's quarter. Eaten raw with beans, they tend to prevent gas. Seeds are edible and is closely related to quinoa. It's an immigrant from Europe. Medicinal uses, it's an anthelmintic, which destroys parasites, and antiphogistic, prevents inflammation. Antirheumatic, helps in arthritis because it removes and helps reduce inflammation, so it helps with arthritis. Some people use it as a contraceptive. It may suppress the estrus cycle. It's a laxative, helps empty the bowels. Odontelgic, which is for teeth health. A lot of people will mouthwash with it. And it's also a mild sedative. Leaves, either a leaf wash or the leaves can be applied as a poultice or a wash to bug bites, sunburn, rheumatic joints, swollen feet. A decoction is good for teeth health. You can make a green dye out of it, and it has a lot of saponins, I'm not sure, saponins, and which can be used as a soap. It's high in vitamin A, calcium, potassium, and phosphorus. And it's a good source of protein, trace minerals, B vitamins, vitamin C, iron, and fiber. Now, I told you about all that today on herbs because today I found all these on holidaysandobservances.com, what's going on around the world. And it's National Herb Day. But it's Bladder Cancer Awareness Day, Bombshells Day, which is a day for women to celebrate themselves and their best friends, which, it's better that we not try to think of some friends as better than other friends. We want all friendships to be whole. Of course, there'll be different manifestations of your friendship, obviously. But We want to love everyone completely, everyone to be your dear friend. Childhood Stroke Awareness Day, Free Comic Book Day, International Doodle Dog Day, which is to celebrate poodle mixed breeds, like a Labradoodle, I think they call them. International Drone Day, celebrate unmanned aerial vehicles. International No Diet Day, a day to accept your body just the way it is. Join Hands Day, when youth and adults volunteer together. Joseph Brackett Day, songwriter and composer famous for the song Simple Gifts. Learn to Ride a Bike Day. Mariachi Day, National Auctioneers Day, National Beverage Day, National Crepe Suzette Day, which is a day to savor a delicious dish with an interesting story. All my kids heard about Osage stew. The Osage Indians would just mix everything they had together and make a stew out of it. And I raised my kids doing the same thing. There's more to that story, but we don't have time today. National Explosive Ordnance Disposal Day, when we celebrate people who get rid of explosives. It'd be nice to get rid of them all. National Fitness Day, National Herb Day, National Homebrew Day, National Nurses Day, National Play Outside Day, National Scrapbooking Day, National Tourist Appreciation Day, National Wildfire Community Preparedness Day, No Homework Day, Pilates Day, Start Seeing Monarchs Day, World Beer Pong Day, and World Naked Gardening Day. Okay, well, now let's go take a look in our reading for today. The Way of Salvation starts in paragraph 86 of chapter 13. When you accept a brother's guiltlessness, you will see the atonement in him. For by proclaiming it in him, you make it yours, and you will see what you sought. You will not see the symbol of your brother's guiltlessness shining within him while you still believe it is not there. We want to come in ahead of time knowing that we're going to see our brother's guiltlessness, because that's the reality of life. Not this world. This is this part of the thought reversal we're learning. The kingdom of heaven instead of the kingdom of this world. His guiltlessness is your atonement. Okay, so seeing his guiltlessness is your atonement. Grant it to him, and you will see the truth of what you have acknowledged, yet truth is offered first to be received, even as God gave it first to his Son. To give, all that I give is given to myself. Grant it to him, and you will see the truth of what you have acknowledged, yet truth is offered first to be received, even as God gave it first to his Son. The first in time means nothing, but the first in eternity is God the Father, who is both first and one. Beyond the first there is no other, for there is no order, no second or third, and nothing but the first. 87. You who belong to the first cause created by him, God, like unto himself and part of him, are more than merely guiltless. The state of guiltlessness is only the condition in which what is not there has been removed from the disordered mind that thought it was. Wow, catch that. The state of guiltlessness is only the condition in which what is not there has been removed from the disordered mind that thought it was there. This state and only this must you attain with God beside you. For until you do, you will still think that you are separate from him. Wow. To think that evil's real and that guilt is real will make you believe that you're separate from God. You can feel his presence next to you, but cannot know that you are one with him. This need not be taught. Learning applies only to the condition in which it happens of itself. 88. When you have let all that obscured the truth in your most holy mind be undone for you and stand in grace before your Father, he will give himself to you as he has always done. Giving himself is all he knows, and so it is all knowledge. For what he knows not cannot be, and therefore cannot be given. Ask not to be forgiven, for this has already been accomplished. Ask rather to learn how to forgive and restore what always was to your unforgiving mind. Atonement becomes real and visible to them that use it. On earth, this is your only function, atonement, to see the guiltlessness in your brothers and sisters and yourself. On earth, this is your only function, and you must learn that it is all you want to learn, to see your guiltlessness. 89. You will feel guilty till you learn this, for in the end, whatever form it takes, your guilt arises from your failure to fulfill your function in God's mind with all of yours. Can you escape this guilt by failing to fulfill your function here? You need not understand creation to do what must be done before that knowledge would be meaningful to you. God breaks no barriers, neither did he make them. When you release them, they are gone. God will not fail. God will not fail, not ever has. God will not fail, nor ever has in anything. What? 90. Decide that God is right and you are wrong about yourself. There is no guilt. God is right and you are wrong. He created you out of himself, but still within him. He knows what you are. Remember that there is no second to him. There cannot therefore be anyone without his holiness, nor anyone unworthy of his perfect love. Fail not in your function of loving in a loveless place, made out of darkness and deceit. Fail not in your function of loving in a loveless place, made out of darkness and deceit, for thus are darkness and deceit undone. Fail not yourself, but instead offer to God and you his blameless Son. For this small gift of appreciation for his love, God will himself exchange your gift for his. 91. Before you make any decisions for yourself, remember that you have decided against your function in heaven, and consider carefully whether you want to make decisions here. Your function here is only to decide against deciding that you want. Your function here is only to decide against deciding what you want in recognition that you do not know. How then can you decide what you should do? Leave all decisions to the one who speaks for God and for your function as he knows it. So will he teach you to remove the awful burden you have laid upon yourself by loving not the Son of God and trying to teach him guilt instead of love. Boy, that sure goes along with our lesson. All that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in him. Give up this frantic and insane attempt, which cheats you of the joy of living with your God and Father and awakening gladly to his love and holiness, which you together as the truth in you, let's back up. Give up the frantic and insane attempt which cheats you of the joy of living with your God and Father and awakening gladly to his love and holiness, which join together as the truth in you, making you one with him. And the last paragraph, 92. When you have learned how to decide with God, all decisions become as easy and as right as breathing. There is no effort, and you will be led as gently as if you were being carried along a quiet path in summer. Only your own volition seems to make deciding hard. The Holy Spirit will not delay at all in answering your every question what to do. He knows, and he will tell you and then do it for you. You who are tired might consider whether this is not more restful than sleep, for you can bring your guilt into sleeping, but not into this. You can have dreams of pain and guilt, can't you? Okay, we want to learn to hear the Holy Spirit's word for us. I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. All that I give is given to myself. Help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. All that I give is given to myself. 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 The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. All that I give is given to myself. 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 The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in Him. All that I give is given to myself. Let's reverse the thinking of the world and see that we want to give innocence to everyone because we want to see our own innocence. And whatever we give is what we receive. All that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now. I will trust in Him. All that I give is given to myself.